Shaky start, but welcome to Frequency 43.
Frequency 43.
John Lamb and Lucas Liberatore.
Back
just
at it again.
Just me and the frequencies, because life's getting a little weird right now. Life's getting a little weird.
Yes, it is, but it's also beautiful at the same time.
Well, I mean, I'll say this. I mean, this whole Corona thing, it kind of sets you back and makes you appreciate like what you got. You know what I mean?
Yeah, seriously. Something that really makes you appreciate something?
What?
Not having a washing machine and a dryer. There's one thing in life I took for granted before college. It was not having a washing machine and a dryer. Worst thing in the world.
For me, I would say it would be just having like a meal, right? Because like,
Or yeah, just somebody cooking your meals.
it's like you're either going out and like you're eating shitty food and then you get to throw it away, or you're making like better food at home, but then you got to do all the dishes and shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you're picking your punishment regardless.
Yeah, and then you got to do the dishes.
Yeah, but I think we take a lot of things for granted.
We really do. Like, I have no idea how this computer is recording this call right now, but we're doing it. So
yeah, or even like a car. Like if your car.
Well, actually, I do know how this computer is taking this video. It's just taking a lot of pictures and it's recording every like frame bit of what we're saying. But what I don't understand is how this computer is working and how this computer is connected to the internet. That I have no idea.
Dude, I don't think anyone knows how that. Like who are the select like elite few of individuals? I'm talking like 0.2% of the population that know how the internet works, that know like all these sort of like coding things, or like cars, or is it this? This is what I think about a lot. A lot of people know they're a little small piece to the puzzle, and all those minds together create a product. So I don't think, because like not one person's gonna know how to build bridges, make computers, cars.
Yeah, I think there's a word for it, right? I think it's called specialization.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know though. It's
weird.
I don't know. I've been getting kind of more in tune with my hunter and gatherer lifestyle, because like, I mean, you look at things like intermittent fasting and all these other things, and I'm like, that shit looks so stupid. Like what the heck? And then they're like, well, that's what the hunters and gatherers were doing. So like once I got my Joe Rogan brain to understand that we were primates before this, right? We were primates, then hunters and gatherers, but it all kind of like makes sense, right? Like we weren't supposed to have 3 meals a day. Our bodies, we would hunt as a group. First of all, if you're not hunting in the group, you're not going to eat.
You're gathering. Yeah, if you're not hunting, you're gathering. Yeah.
But if you're
not doing either of those, you're cut. You're cut.
Yeah, you're getting ostracized from the tribe.
You're literally getting cut. Like,
but it makes sense, right? Like we weren't supposed to have 3 meals a day. So it's crazy. But yeah. Our bodies.
You should give a list off of the actual health benefits of fasting in case somebody listening doesn't know the benefits of fasting.
Right. So what I know is, so when your body is fasting, it's going into ketosis. And like you're listening, what the fuck is ketosis? Is you're not eating any food, so your body is using the fat. I mean, your body's using the fat and using that, and it's actually starving itself. And when your body's starving itself, it's actually rebuilding. So our bodies are in the process of we're either digesting food or we're in repair mode. And the problem is when we have snacks and we eat all these food, our body's just digesting and digesting and digesting, and it's leaving no time to put your body into homeostasis and repair. Whether it's like,
Oh,
let's
that
say
makes
like
sense.
let's say I have a cut on my hand, right? Well, your body kind of needs to go into ketosis in order for these things and metabolic things to happen. But that's just an anecdotal example. This could be you being fatigued. This could be you being tired. But
Hmm.
it's just crazy to think about how these primal instincts. I mean, they're not going anywhere because I mean, go back 1,000 years, go back 2,000 years from now, go back 10,000 years. We've been doing that a lot longer than when we've been talking on Zoom, making podcasts, right?
Yeah, we've only been on Zoom for like I think the past year.
Yeah, right,
It's
right.
crazy.
Game has changed.
It's crazy, and life's moving out. Like, and we'll probably be using something else next year. Like, that's how fast technology is moving.
Well, what I'm curious about is like what's gonna be the next like big thing, right? So like if the big thing now was
The internet.
iPhone, right?
Hmm.
Or the internet, meaning more specifically the access to information, right? Because who the fuck? Because I think what the internet kind of provided was it was like, okay, well, I don't know how to read books, but I can just like look up shit on the internet and listen to it, or I can read a little summary of something.
Hmm.
So we can learn quicker, especially when we're in a society nowadays that's like our attention span is so much less than what it used to be.
You want
I
to
mean,
know what Eddie Bravo thinks about the internet?
what does Eddie Bravo think?
Eddie Bravo thinks that the internet was created as for like by the CIA to control the people and like monitor them. That's exactly what Eddie Bravo believes. And Joe Rogan was like, Eddie, like it was like Eddie, like no, like it was a bunch of like college students to like fund their research, and that's how it happened. But Eddie was like, it's a really like Eddie. I mean, you can't trust a word that man says, but he's on to something, you know.
This is what I think regardless if the internet was created to track people, I still think they're doing it nowadays despite the point, right?
Yeah,
Like who cares who started the internet? I think it's pretty obvious to know that the government is I mean abusing our what's it? First Amendment?
constitutional rights.
It's our one of our constitutional rights.
Yeah,
Privacy. Is that the fourth? No legal search
I
and seizure.
I don't know.
Fourth Amendment. You look that up if you're a listener. I'm like
I'll look it up
80%.
right now, man. ID gaff.
Fourth Amendment is the right to privacy, no illegal
It
search.
prohibits unreasonable searches and seizures.
But also after 9/11, the Patriot Act kind of fucked over a lot of our rights.
Hmm.
So it's tough because, like, I mean, first of all, no one predicted this, right? No one predicted the value of information.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
I mean,
crazy.
like, look at your phone or look at all these things, right? They're just like, okay, like if I'm an algorithm, I'm thinking like, okay, Lucas goes on his phone. First thing he does when he wakes up is go on his phone. Last thing he does before he goes to bed. I'm looking at his search history, all this other stuff, and then bam. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then they just know exactly what to try to sell you. It's genius if you really think about
I mean,
it.
it is genius.
Yeah, but then it just gets a little bit. It just gets so invasive, and then it's like there's no. The internet is so hard to control, like make laws around.
Mm-hmm.
Not only because it's always changing all the time, and like technology is changing, but because there's just so much. Yeah.
Right, and I mean, for me, it's just hard to pay attention to all this change, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
what is the
It's like
what,
there's a
what was
new
the
thing every day.
um what was it called? It was like net neutrality. Like, what was that all?
Yeah, dude, that no, we totally lost. I'm pretty sure that they got that through like after a couple tries. The government totally got that through. I don't
So
know.
I don't know anything about that. It's just like it's weird.
That was like a big thing like 7 years ago. I totally forgot about that though. Like yeah, that was a big thing. All right, I think that we have a very special guest to the show. Oh my God, the perfect moment to be talking about net neutrality. We bring in the one, the only, the brownest man in Guy, Adarsh Rameshra. Oh,
Darsh, can you hear us?
Darsh, can you hear us?
Hear you perfect.
Perfect.
Hey, there we go, baby. We were just talking about net neutrality, man.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
Well,
me
good.
and John
Alright.
were both like interested in it, and we're not really sure what happened about it, and we kind of forget what it was about too. Do you remember?
So basically, net neutrality is like, so Comcast can make, let's say an internet service provider, they can make like a certain website or a group of people pay more for faster internet. So that's why it's called net neutrality, because then at that point, the internet wouldn't be neutral to everyone. If you paid more, you'd have like faster internet on a
You
website.
have more, oh my God.
Okay.
Yeah. As to what happened to it, that's a good question. I feel like just like everything, bro, coronavirus just took over. Just took over the news cycle.
Yeah, but this was like a long time before coronavirus, right? This was like in 2013.
It's true. On June 11, 2018, the repeal of the FCC's rules took effect, ending network neutrality regulation in the United States.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. I was completely wrong. So the people actually won that one, I think.
Team.
Yep. We out here.
Yeah, we out here. Yeah.
All
But
right.
like they have it in the EU and Asia and shit. Net neutrality still.
Oh, I bet that is in Asia for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Mm. I bet the government has the best internet in Asia, and I bet all the people in China just have the crappiest internet.
But actually, the best
Except for their
internet,
LPL players.
LPL team. I think
Um,
the best internet in the world's in like Finland or Sweden or something.
Yeah,
Oh, it's in Taiwan. Shit, man.
TPA.
like bigger, better towers, or like I don't know.
Probably just like stronger cables. Everyone probably has like fiber. We're not even in the top 10, bro. America's lagging.
Literally.
We're lagging.
Wow, that was good. That was a good one.
Um, so I kind of want to start a little question, kind of gonna change gears a little bit, but I'll go first. But my question is, how do you think life started on this planet? And this is just my personal philosophy. I think an asteroid hit the planet whenever 5 billion whatever amount of years ago, right? So an asteroid hit the planet, and there were single-celled organisms on it, and eventually throughout time, these organisms started to replicate and replicate, and their survival characteristics dictated that. And eventually you got fungi, you have fish, and then the fish leave the water, get on the land, then you have animals, and then you have primates, and then your primates' brains get bigger, and then they create podcasts and frequencies, specifically frequency 43s.
Frequency 43, of course.
How do you think this crazy conversation in this game of life started on this planet?
I agree with you. I really do think that we came from like an asteroid from a different world, maybe like other people, and then we just evolved. But like people that think it's religion, they just have needed to explain something that hasn't been explained yet,
Yeah, okay, Adarsh, but then you go to but then that pertains to ask the most fundamental question of how did the universe start, and then you go right back to religion, because there is
Big
no
Bang,
answer.
baby.
What about the Big Bang?
But before
Big
the
Bang.
Big Bang, there's no evidence of anything.
So isn't that what string theory kind of is all about? Is it predicts what things were like before the Big Bang? Am I talking?
I think string theory is more about like multiple
Like
dimensions.
wormholes,
I'm
right?
pretty sure.
Yeah.
And
I don't know if you guys ever seen this Futurama episode, bringing it way back, but basically it's like they get stuck in a time machine and they go through all of time, and then the universe just restarts exactly like it was.
Yeah, I feel like we're in just like a cycle of universes.
I
And
agree.
like
I
the
agree.
maybe the universe has just been restarting and ending for billions for but then like then just the meaning of time is just so abstract if you think of like it's so weird to think about.
It's a trip, man.
Time is a tough one because all we have is now in the foreseeable future, but it's tough. It really truly.
We have no knowledge of what happens after death, so there could be more time, like we just don't know.
Yeah, we could die and just restart. We just restart our lives.
So when I
Or we
was
could continue with like our soul into like a different universe or different
Can I
dimension.
throw a question out to you guys?
Uh,
If let's say we're like 75 or now, let's say we're like 80, and they're like, you can now upload your brain to a hard drive and
mhm.
keep going without your body. You can just keep going. Would you guys be for
No, because dude, those Black Mirror episodes are so sketch, dude.
it?
They're so sketch. When they have
Yeah, but
that
who
one, when
knows?
they have that one woman just like trapped in like she's like a slave, dude, and like she's there for eternity. It's like, dude, that's not chill, you know?
It's true. It's true because then what happens if you actually want to die and you're just on a hard drive?
Yeah.
I'd probably see. I wouldn't be the first guinea pig. Let me just say that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I
how
agree.
is Bill Gates doing this? Like who's doing this, right?
Yeah.
But I mean that begs the question. Everyone's afraid to die, right? You know,
Yeah, I mean, I feel like right now we are, but like I feel like once we're old and like have lived our lives,
I feel
especially if you're
like
super old.
maybe I feel like that could be kind of reversed because like back in like ancient times, sometimes people were kind of hyped to die. Like Vikings believed in like death in battle and going to Valhalla, so like they would like purposely try to kill themselves in battle. They're like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you wouldn't be going to heaven if you didn't die in battle.
yeah.
That
So
was the point.
sometimes they like some people in history, I feel like have definitely wanted to die.
I mean, look at the Egyptians, right? They were fascinated with the afterlife.
Yeah.
It's true. Built big ass tombs.
Yeah, a lot of effort for that for that Egyptian pharaoh to live a banging afterlife.
It's true.
Yeah,
You
dude.
see that they found cannabis in some pyramids.
Oh, banging.
Yeah, dang.
Dude, I watched this like 2 hour documentary. It was it was really interesting actually. It was about how all the stonework from like around the world and like the Easter Islands to Machu Picchu to Egypt to like all these ancient sites had some sort of like ancient resemblance and they were talking about some theories that would like a unified ancient civilization maybe back on like Pangea before like dude there's a lot of theories about like the
Yeah,
pyramids.
because wasn't it not possible with the technology that like
Yeah,
we
because
saw them
first
having?
off, yeah, like it's really not possible with like not they probably did it, they probably did it, but it's unbelievable. They had to use so many slaves to do that. The amount of human lives it must have taken if they actually did that, like must have been insane. But then um yeah, I kind of lost my train of thought, but there's a really good documentary on it and like yeah. Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
about all I got.
I think it's interesting though. Like even nowadays, like we don't even know where some of these pharaohs are being hidden, right? Like we know where the pyramid is, but the route or the way they hid the body is just so.
Well, yeah, it's not even that. It's geometrically on the earth where they put the pyramids is like the biggest thing. And then the second biggest thing is like on certain days the shadow is like perfect to like certain things like in the Sphinx. There's a lot of theories that the pyramids were there even before the Egyptians and the Egyptians just
It's like
Just,
inherited it.
inherited them. Yeah.
Well, I was
Interesting.
watching. Well, we're all Joe Rogan heads. I was watching a Joe Rogan one time.
Have you watched the Graham Hancock has a
Graham
lot to say about this.
So that's what I was going to talk about. So Graham
Yeah.
Hancock thinks the Egyptian Sphinx is significantly older than the actual pyramids.
Yeah.
And the way they could document this, actually, I found quite compelling, is they looked at the water damage of the Sphinx, and it sustained a dramatic amount of water damage compared to the other structures in Egypt, like the pyramids. So, I mean, it's trippy. It's trippy. When you look at the value of the pyramids, I think there's more to it than just what meets the eye. I mean, Liv, you're talking about geographically where they're placed on certain days of the year.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've watched that video, because if I was fresh off of watching that video, I would be spitting facts right now, but I just don't remember. I would have to refresh. There's a lot about it, but I'll find the documentary, and I'm damn near going to put the link in the description of Frequency 43 podcast.
Gotta
Beautiful.
cite your sources, baby.
So we talked about how we think life would start. With every start to something, there's a finish. So I want hot takes. How is this world gonna end? Since we are on the same page, kind of, on how it started. Lucas.
Before this, I'm gonna say we have another guest on Frequency 43, the name of Kevin Levy. Have to add him to the call real quick. I think he's connecting right now.
Levy, you're on Frequency 43.
How you doing, boys?
There he is.
On.
There you go,
Great
Levy.
haircut. My God.
Yeah.
Thank you. So we just talked about how we think this world started, and we all came to the same conclusion, Kevin, that we think an asteroid hit the Earth, and single-celled organisms started just replicating, and then bam, like eventually we're here.
Yeah.
Now I want to know, how do you think life is going to end on this planet? You have the floor.
It won't. Even if our life ends or our species dies, life will still go on, because our Earth is in the perfect sphere, and it may take a couple thousand years to get life back humping again, but they'll be back. They'll be back. It might not be us. It might be lizard people, but
Lizard people or crab people.
Crustaceans.
Or
Yeah,
bears or
lobsters can live 100 years. They're fertile their whole lives. They're winning.
Like,
maybe they're winning the evolution.
I feel like it would be like a big planet of like human-sized ants and bees, like in a queen. I feel like there has to be a planet out there like that.
Okay. I think there's going to be some sort of natural disaster in the next 1,000 years that if it doesn't kill humanity, I think it'll have, fucking high school, we called it the bottleneck effect, where it drastically reduces the population, meaning there's only a small genome to replicate and keep the human civilization going. I could see there being a giant wave. I could see there being an earthquake. I could see Yellowstone blowing up in 500 years. And
I feel like the most likely thing is going to be nuclear fallout, right?
Or an asteroid. Yeah.
It's gonna take a lot of nukes to bring all.
We've got a lot of nukes.
We've got a lot of nukes, but
we've got a lot of nukes.
People know what happens when.
But think about it. But think about all the radiation, and like, what if they like let one out in space or something, and like the atmosphere explodes? I don't know. I'm just spitballing.
I'm just throwing it.
Because isn't it in like the 1960s or something, when they were experimenting with nukes? I think like they thought they almost caused the apocalypse one time. They blew up a nuke in outer space, and it like did some sketchy shit to the atmosphere, like some real sketchy shit. Yeah.
Space,
I'm gonna look that up right now.
I'm a firm believer that space should not be militarized, but it's gonna be.
Space Force, bro.
I mean, like, just like building giant fucking lasers in the sky. Like, that's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Because that's real.
Starfish
That's some good
Prime. It's
power.
called Starfish Prime, the nuke that was exploded in outer space.
Interesting. What year was this?
This was in 1962.
Damn.
Oh my god.
When Lyndon B was still launching nukes all the time. Love that guy.
Uh-huh.
We've had,
One.
It
we've
was
had a-
the U.S.
we've had a great ride of our life so far before this coronavirus. Just got to point that out. If you're
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, it was going great.
if you're early 20s or late teens right now, then
I'm a pledge master. I wasn't even able to initiate my own pledge class. That's sad.
Cool.
You know, I'm just saying.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, dude, wow. I'm looking at it right now. The nuclear explosion in space caused an aurora borealis.
My god.
of nuclear.
You guys remember Aurora Borealis? That's also called the Northern Lights, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
Not what
Yep.
it
I believe so.
banging.
Absolutely banging.
Yeah, that's on the bucket list for sure. I'm sad I didn't get to see them when I was in Norway because it was the wrong time of the year, I think.
All right,
But yet,
we're gonna switch topics. What makes people happy? For me, the way I see it, I say when people meet their expectations and are fulfilled, I think that's a great start of what makes people happy. In pursuing some sort of purpose or value in life, I mean, I think you better to them, but I think it's subjective to what makes someone happy is different for every single person, right?
True. I got 2 words for
Well,
you. Cash money.
Cash and money. For some people, it's cash and money. For some other people, it's boats and hoes, you know?
Well, psychologically, there is it's called like somebody's pyramid of needs. I'll look it up. I think it's called Maslow's hierarchical pyramid of needs, and it starts at the very bottom, which is food and water, and then I think it goes shelter, and then I think it goes
How is food?
community, and then it goes community, and then it goes like I need to look it up, and then the last one is self-actualization, which is finding what you're good at in life and pursuing it and like doing it and like excelling at something. It's called self.
Yeah, I bet. But I feel like even if you have a good job, I feel like more than half of our population is just miserable.
Without
Yeah.
a doubt.
They're just going to work.
it's also how the person spent, like, what their personality is. Like, are they a depressive person? Do they have issues with anxiety? You know, like are they like a bubbly person who, you know what I mean, does things positively way more, you know, in their head? Are they a person who thinks negatively? Or are they a person that thinks positively? Like that's huge.
Right. I think you're touching base on. I've actually watched some YouTube videos on this. It's called the law. I've been trying to practice this as well. It's called the law of attraction.
Look at this.
So the law of attraction, and then we'll jump back to Lucas Salvatore in his pyramid. The law of attraction, basically, in simplest terms, is if you think positive thoughts, positive things will happen. If you think negative thoughts, negative things will happen. And some people, like you're saying, Calvin, some people are triggered easily to flare up and have an anxiety attack, or some people are more susceptible to being depressed. But Lib, fill my cup right now.
I found it. This is it. I studied this in AP Psychology in Miss Kernage's class, and I found it very interesting. But basically, it goes over the 5 basic like building block pyramids of happiness, right here, or not happiness, but pyramid of needs, or like what a human needs.
Right.
What this is like.
Be the happiness.
This is for all humans too. This is for all humans.
So for those listening, I'm just going to read it. So at the bottom, we have psychological needs. That's food, water, warmth, and rest. A little bit below that, safety needs. So that's having shelter, security, and safety. Above that is belongingness and love needs. That's having some sort of intimate relationship. Or
What
having
about
friends.
sexual needs?
Well, sexual needs. I think they were
That's what they're implying.
Intimate relationships.
Gotta
That's what
get
they're implying.
busting your nuts. Okay, so that's what that one was talking about.
It's saying getting your nut is just right above security and safety.
What's more important than busting nuts is esteem needs. That's some sort of prestige or feeling of accomplishment. But Lucas Liberatore, what is at the top of the pyramid to make you happy in this world?
It is self-actualization, but one key thing to note is that there's no way that one can achieve self-actualization unless they have the 4 building blocks beneath them. So in reality, this is the one that everybody's and this goes back to Jordan Peterson, dude. That's the top, that's the capstone of the pyramid. It's above the rest of the pyramid. So at the same time, it's almost unachievable, but that's the goal, if that makes sense.
The goal is to climb the mountain and go as high as you can.
Stop.
Sweet.
John, I got a question for you, man. Taking
Alright.
you taking any chops over there in Eugene?
Taking too
Yeah,
many.
are you achieving that psychological?
No,
And
I
besides,
knew you would.
the 5th after that.
All right. I just had that question.
Good. I will not be taking chops though next week. I will be going back to California.
Hey.
I might even begin a little tea break in me. I don't know. It depends how I'm feeling. But I'm all talk. You know me. You've been friends with me forever.
It's kind of easy to be on a tea break here.
That's good. Good news.
Yeah.
I was playing golf today,
Those are some
and
nice pliers, Calvin.
Thanks.
I was thinking, I was high when I was playing golf, and I was like, "Well, isn't golf just a metaphor for life?" And it's like, you don't understand. Well, let me break it down a little bit.
Well, I would say all sports are a metaphor for life.
True, but I feel like golf is the ultimate metaphor for life because you're competing against yourself. And that's what you're doing in life too. It's not about beating the competition. It's about
That's true. It's the only sport that you can call a penalty on yourself, dude. That's from a famous golf movie. I loved that movie.
What does that mean?
I hate golf. You can call a penalty on yourself when you move the ball by accident and you lose a stroke.
So, but you have to say it?
Yeah, because nobody else could see it.
Wow.
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Gentlemen, that's some gentleman's rules right there. Some gentleman rule right there.
So the 18 holes, the way I see it, 18 holes is you living your entire life. And every shot in golf is an opportunity to prove yourself. And let's say you shoot a shitty shot. Well, tomorrow's coming. You're gonna get another chance. Let's say you failed a test. You're gonna get another opportunity. You may have a shitty grade in the class. You may have a shitty situation because of your shitty shot, but you're gonna get another chance. And I think that's what life's like. You can, and guess just like in life, you can dig yourself a hole and make a lot of bad putts, make a lot of bad decisions, start behind the competition. But that's why they have the back 9 holes, is so you can.
That's why they make the back.
I also think golf is a metaphor for life because you have to be fucking rich to play golf, and you have to be fucking rich.
Okay.
You have to start out rich, so you have to start out rich in that sport. There's no start. Oh, I started from the hood. Look where I am today.
Well, bro,
No,
just look at Zach Bryles, bro. Come on, that man's from the hood, man. He's a golfer. I mean, he is white, but he's like the most ghetto white guy I've ever met in my life.
That's the most ghetto white guy you've ever met.
So
Dude,
his brother's the most ghetto white guy.
Yeah, his
I've ever
brother
met.
might be the most ghetto white.
Hey man, look at the fucking guy.
You know what? And also in golf, sometimes you can have a sweet shot, a nice shot, and then you're in the sand trap. You like in life, like you could be doing everything. You could be doing everything right. You could be eating healthy, getting good grades, being happy, doing exercising, whatnot, doing what you got to do to live the best of your ability. And then you're in the sand trap, like shit can hit the fan. Like, let's say like you're like someone, a close relative is sick, like you never know when you're going to be in a shitty situation.
True.
I like that metaphor.
Yeah.
You could try your hardest not to be in that situation, but you might still end up there.
You might still be in the sand trap, even though you got a nice shot.
John, that NASA flag makes you look 10 times smarter.
Thank you. And you know what? Sometimes you can shoot a shitty shot, and you're on the green, man. Doesn't matter how you got there. You're on the green putting. You're birdie putting right now.
So John, I don't know what other topics of conversation, but I'd like to bring up something. So I was on an Instagram page, and I was looking at fat acceptance, like an Instagram page.
Yeah.
I love
And
it.
I want to
love
know what people like what people's thoughts about that are, and she was saying on her Instagram page, she was saying how it's like unfair and unjust that seats like at public places aren't big enough for like extremely heavy people, and that's discrimination.
No, dude, that's literally just their own problem, dude.
Yeah.
I agree.
You can only do so much.
But we're all skinny. Like we're all skinny, so like like we've never had to deal with like even trying to accept like
Isn't
having
that
like a bad body.
to lose weight?
Yeah, but
Dude, I've been chubby before plenty of times. And
I mean,
you
you've
just
never
gotta get
been
after it.
fat. You've never.
Dude, I used to be a little chubster before I played soccer freshman year. I was a little
Yeah, but you've
chubber.
never been like.
Okay, but Lucas, we're talking about like morbidly.
We're talking about
Talking
big
about like
people here.
300 plus, bro.
Yeah.
Because like even if you're like fat, like 250 plus, you like the world is still kind of built for you. But it's like the airplane
Yeah.
seat conundrum. If you're really fat, should you have to buy 2 airplane seats?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Like,
think
but
so.
you're one. But you're one. Yeah, you should. But like for them, they're one person. Why, if they're one person, shouldn't an airplane be able to have seats for fat people?
Well,
Maybe.
hey, Calvin, this is the analogy I'm going to say. So, like, let's say you're tall, you're a tall, fat person. Well, shouldn't you pay the same amount to eat 2 sandwiches when the little midget behind you
That's
orders
true.
1 sandwich?
It's like, are the hobbits gonna build a higher roof for Gandalf when he enters the homes?
That's a great analogy.
No.
No,
Like,
they wouldn't. Gandalf had to hit his head.
Exactly.
Hey.
The world shouldn't be built for fat people. It should encourage fat. Because at the end of the day, being fat, like, yeah, you can accept it all, but it's just unhealthy.
Look, there's a mathematical way to do this. You take up everybody's weight in America, and then you take the arithmetical average of that, and you build everything around that number.
Yeah, but then if you go like overseas,
that's a high number if we're going.
if that
Are
person-
we
yeah,
adding
so-
the South and the Midwest and shit? Because that's gonna be a high number.
Dude, I'm
Exactly.
sure that I'm gonna look it up what the average weight is in America.
it's definitely over 200 pounds.
Oh,
No
what?
way.
That's heavy.
No
Well,
way.
if we're just do males, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I think it's over 200.
If it is males, then it might be over 200 pounds. I would say around 190 to 200 pounds. Around there.
because like
197.
we're living in California where like our school lunches and just our lifestyles are just
Like, do we even
inherently
was there even
healthier.
like one extremely obese person at our high school? Like, not really.
No?
Not like
Yes.
extremely obese.
There was
Maybe-
a lot of these people.
Dude, there was,
Mm,
I don't know, man.
There were
Regardless-
fat people,
Regardless
but there
of it,
weren't.
I think our society should be set up where it's easier for people to live a healthy lifestyle. Like you look at these things in like food deserts and stuff, and it's like these people don't want to be obese, but their mom's on welfare, and it's like, how are we gonna feed the kids? Let's just do the cheapest thing, and I'm already
Yeah.
addicted to it.
Yeah, vegetables
You
are
know what I mean?
expensive.
It's not the whole idea that like let's get everyone included, like stop fat shaming. It's like no, like like we can see what the problem is, and it's like, well, we've privatized the food industry, so people are going to get what they want, and what they want is shit, because that's what sells.
No, bro, I wouldn't agree with that, dude. People don't want to be going to Winco and buying the cheapest shit, dude, but people are going to Winco and buying the cheapest shit because that's what they got to do, man. Like, you know, like, dude, everybody would be eating good if they could.
You look at, I mean, food is addicting, right? Like, just like with any other drug. Right?
I mean, even on her Instagram page, she was talking about how food is like you should never, like, it's part of her, like damn near, like, it's what she does. You know, she loves fucking food. She loves to eat. Like, that's
some people
that's so unhealthy. That's such an unhealthy way of thinking.
They have some sort of like intimate relationship with it. You know what I mean? Like if you,
exactly,
like, none of us can really talk about this because like we're not overweight, but it's like I think some sort of like people, like that's their like thing. Like some people smoke weed, some people like nicotine, some people just like shove food down their throat, and like, first of all,
I don't understand it, bro. I don't understand it.
Bro, it all goes back to the government subsidizing corn, and then high fructose corn syrup just took over the world. If you look at obesity rates around the world after and before high fructose corn syrup was invented, because it's just a cheaper and more unhealthy way to sweeten things.
It also put tens of thousands of Mexicans out of work, and that's why there was a huge influx of Mexican migrants, because we made the corn industry so cheap in America where it pushed all the Mexican farmers out.
Yeah, but it's high fructose.
It was a while ago, but it happened. Like, hella Mexicans were working in the corn industry until like we made it hella cheap in America, and then they just couldn't compete.
So I'm gonna push this obesity problem back to a topic we had earlier in this podcast about the hunter and gatherer lifestyle. So when we were hunters and gatherers and we tasted sugar, now it's not that sugar is fucking like amazing or stuff. It's our brain's reaction to sugar. And what our brain's reaction to sugar is always known to be as a safe food. Meaning, like, oh, there's fruit over here, like this has sugar in it, okay, it's safe, it's not going to kill me. So our brain is so in tune with sugar and fats and all these unhealthy things, because
dude, I can't talk, dude. I've been so addicted to this horchata, dude. It's
you love your horchata,
dude. I've been eating so healthy, but like I've been
Italian food every night.
Not every night, no.
Bro, that's also the problem.
We're in America, like, dude. You gotta get a burger sometimes.
It's just people are like drinking. I think a lot of people are just drinking too much, like drinking all their calories, drinking all their sugars.
Like, they're not.
That's true.
Okay, so like if what you put in your mouth, right, reflects everything about you, right? Like how clear your skin is, how you're feeling, your energy levels. Well, shit, if you're fucking shoving like sugar down like left and right, and then like what's for dinner, McDonald's, like, oh, and then we're gonna have some refined sugars right here. Like, it's so easy. And then like, let's say like you're like a Nick Escobar, like, I don't like fruit, I don't like vegetables, but you know, you have to eat them because like that's what we do, right?
Nick doesn't like fruits and vegetables.
Nick does not like fruit, but I think he likes vegetables.
Doesn't like fruit? Bro, fruit is like the better vegetable.
Fruits are not vegetables. Don't ever think if you're eating
they're not
vegetables.
They're not vegetables. They're better, dude.
Damn near. Like, if you're eating fruit like that, like that's if I have kids, like, I want to make sure that they know that if they're eating fruit, like, that's a dessert. Like, they should be fucking happy. You know what I mean? Like, that it's sweet, it's good. Like, that's like, they don't need all this extra fucking like ice cream and candy and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if they start out young thinking that fruit is like a luxury and a dessert, then they will like it. You know what I mean?
Well, and I think you can retrain your taste buds too, right? Because like, you ever have fruit after you have like you ever have fruit after you drink some orange juice? This shit tastes awful.
I've never done
Awful.
that.
You
That's like doing
Never
two fruits at
partook in
once.
okay, but how about this? I'm gonna flip it. You ever take a bong rip in the morning, and the first thing you have is a piece of fruit? I think that's one of the most amazing feelings ever, right? Because you have nothing in your system, right? Like you know what I mean? A lot of water, and then the first thing of sugar you have is a fruit. When
Which
like
is like good sugar, which is
yeah,
pure sugar.
when, like if you have like a soda, and then 20 minutes later you have like a fruit or like this, it's not gonna taste as good because your taste buds aren't used to that. Your taste buds are used to those 40 grams of sugar in a 12-ounce Coke coming down.
Damn.
Is
Yeah.
is Coca-Cola the reason Americans are obese?
Damn near.
It
Damn near,
helps.
dude. I agree. Because
100%.
also it's like soda companies, they're all owned. Like most of them are owned by the Coca-Cola, man.
I
You
mean,
got,
but
like John said, bro,
3/4 of
30 to
Americans
40
drink
grams.
coffee,
Yeah,
and that's terrible for you.
I mean, coffee is not inherently bad because coffee's been being drunk for millions, for like thousands of years. You know.
what I learned today is the coffee that people were drinking back then is not comparable to what we're drinking now. Like, what we're
Really?
drinking now is a lot shittier for you, but I can't get into depth with that because I don't remember the specific article. Or
Do
anything.
coffee beans come from America, or they were in
Africa?
South
Africa?
America.
Because the Turks had it, right? Like the Turks were like the first people to like really get that shit going. I'm pretty sure. I don't know, but I'm
I
pretty
think it
sure.
I'm not
was all in
educated.
South America, right?
I think they get them in Africa.
I don't even know, but
I don't know the history of coffee.
I feel like South America for some reason would be a fire place to grow coffee.
Yeah, no, I mean it's mostly grown in it's mostly grown in South America, like, and then like like the islands like Indonesia, I think, and stuff like that. But it's terrible for like like you have to cut down hella trees to get coffee. So that's one of the reasons why it's like kind of a bad plant too, is because
I didn't
coffee
know that.
plantations are like pretty bad because you have to put them in the jungle,
Yeah.
so you cut down a lot of jungle to get it.
All right, guys. I am going to head out.
Same.
Too.
I'm going in for my last smokes
closing
of the
thoughts?
season.
Closing thoughts.
Closing thoughts. I currently am on a tea break, and my dreams have been wild, man. John, tea break, was dreaming. Dream your dreams, man.
It's true.
Don't let your
Dream some great
dreams-
ideas.
Don't let your memes be dreams.
That's also true.
That's my
Uh,
closing.
I love this podcast. Keep doing you guys.
Awesome. Thank you for being
Awesome.
on.
I love to hear that.
I won't be I won't be talking to you guys for the most part for the rest of the summer, hopefully. So
Why not?
I got a job at Camp Chile if it fucking goes on.
In where? Oh, so you don't have a phone?
It's fucking John's old summer camp.
Remember that summer when I wasn't here?
So you're not gonna have a phone?
No, I'll have a phone, but I'll only be able to use it like once a day type thing, like once or twice a day type
Oh,
thing.
okay.
Like,
Okay.
like,
Closing thoughts on the podcast. What are we talking about today? Hunter and gatherer lifestyle. Get in tune with that. Get in tune with fasting. Get in tune with that.
I want to start a garden.
Golf is a metaphor for life. Okay. Think about it. I don't know. What makes you happy? Lucas had a pyramid for that. How did the
Hey, there's pyramids for everything, baby. Hey, JP put me on that. JP put me on that. Everything's a fucking hierarchy, man.
Hey, how many views did you guys get on your last one?
18. How the world started. We think it was an asteroid. How the world ends. Some people in this podcast don't even think.
Dude, it's probably a simulation or something, dude. Somebody probably just pressed. Somebody probably
I'd say that argument's due for the next podcast, man.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys. This is Frequency 43. Peace.
Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
And see ya.
We're signing off today. Frequencies.
Jeffrey Epstein
are
didn't
being
kill
sent.
himself.
Jeffrey
All right.
Epstein for sure is still alive somewhere.
He's in
Make
the
sure you keep the
Bahamas.
vibes good. Make sure you're vibing on the good frequencies.
Make sure your frequencies are good and you're good as frequencies.
You're so high,
Alright.
Steve.
All right.
Deuces.
I'll be seeing you on the Rift, Kevin.
Maybe
Yeah,
tomorrow.
you will, baby.